days out from Berlin half. Earlier today I went out on a run, just an easy 6k. I've just picked up a coffee and a pastry, and later this morning I'm gonna go to the expo to pick up my race number. I'm gonna try to get there for the opening at 11 to hopefully beat the crowds. To have ticked off the expo today because I arrived at 20 past 11, 20 minutes after the opening. It was already rather busy, and also it is not right in the city center, it's kind of on the outskirts. Took me a while to get there and a while to get back. Actually, I spent a lot longer in the tube than at the actual expo, but it's done now. And it is the most methodical expo I have been to. Right as you get in, they check your QR code and your ID, and then you can be let in the queue, and then it's like an airport security queue. Next, there is like a machine to put the wristband around your wrist, and then you get to queue to get your race number, where they check your QR code and your ID again. And then they were printing the race numbers kind of like on demand as your QR code was checked, which I thought was quite cool. But yeah, it was quite a mission. All of this for a wristband and a race number. No goodie bags and no race t-shirt. If you wanted one, you needed to pay extra, which I didn't really think was necessary. So yes, that's done. Another day, another coffee shop. I would need a good month here in Berlin to have the time to explore all the cool coffee shops, bakeries, food spots I'd love to check out. So many spots, so little time. I really hope I'll get to go back to Berlin at some point in the future. Anyway, so this morning I did my little pre-race shakeout, just an easy 20-minute run with some strides. And the aim today really is to try and do less steps than I did the past couple of days. So less sightseeing, less walking around, a bit more resting, and let's try to get race ready. Right, let's talk about tomorrow. So I'm gonna do exactly the same in terms of breakfast and race fuel as I did at Malaga half. Stir bar for breakfast, some Velo Forte shoes before the race, and then 2 precision gels with me out on the course. Now for tomorrow, there's a few things that are starting to stress me out. First of all, it is the wrong time of the month, confirmed. Last night I got a Garmin notification that it was coming, and sure enough this morning it started. It is better that it started today rather than tomorrow. I never know how much it's going to impact me. I just hope tomorrow I'll feel less sluggish than I feel right now. And the second thing is that it's going to be quite cold. It's going to be 3 degrees Celsius when we start at 10. Because it's such a big event, they say that you need to arrive an hour early, but I don't really want to be hanging around in the cold for this long, so I don't really know what I'm going to set off, what's my logistics for race morning. My race outfit tomorrow. Do I want to wear bright shorts? The answer is no. I absolutely love my new Say Sky race kit. I felt amazing wearing it in Malaga, but tomorrow I think it's just going to be stressing me out too much. So I think I'll probably end up wearing black shorts, and then for the shoes, I am going for comfort tomorrow. I'm going to go with the On Cloud Omega 3s. So I won't stress about my feet potentially hurting. Course-wise, I don't know what to expect because it is a new course this year. So I can't go look at runners' Strava profiles from last year to check the elevation of the course and all of that. I've already made it flatter, which is good, but it's not going to be as flat as Malaga. And on the website, I couldn't find the elevation profile of the course. So I don't know if I should expect some gentle inclines, if there's a proper hill somewhere, like, I don't know, we'll just see tomorrow. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm starting to feel a bit stressed about tomorrow, but I'm just reminding myself that it's not a near race. I'm doing this for the experience. The most important is that I enjoy myself. That being said, obviously I would love to run well, and hopefully I will feel good and not too cold. a sunny morning so far, so it should feel less cold, which is good because the weather app wasn't lying. It is actually 3 degrees Celsius. I'm about to set off, head over to the start line. I'm gonna wear my throwaway fleece. I'm a bit sad about throwing it away because it's not like completely used up. I could have worn it a few more times, but I don't have a choice. I really need to keep warm today. Usually for half marathon races, I wear earphones because it's quite a long way. I like to have some music. I know you're not supposed to, okay, I know. And today I decided I'm gonna leave the earphones here. I'm not gonna have any music with me on the course. It's gonna be my first half marathon race without music. So I really hope there will be a lot of crowds and support and cheers and entertainment on the course to keep me distracted. Yes, I am feeling rather nervous. I hope I'm going to enjoy myself today, but I also really hope I'm going to run well. So yeah, let's just see what happens. So I managed to keep the half marathon PB streak alive, but oh man, that was really hard work this morning. I feel mentally and physically completely drained right now. I mean, I still had some energy to go out this afternoon to a cookie place that I had planned to visit today. Regardless of my race results, I thought that would be either a celebration for a good race or cheering myself up if I didn't have a really good race. But thankfully it was to celebrate a 50-second PB. So my chip time is 1 hour 22 minutes 29 seconds. I very nearly had a meltdown because at first my results were not showing, my page was blank. So I finished and then Ben texts me and he's like, look, I don't see you in the results, like you've got nothing. And I'm like, are you telling me that I run a PB and my chip didn't work? Like I was about to cry. Thankfully a little later my gun time appeared, but still no chip time, still no ranking positions, and still no timings at the 5k, 10k, 15k trackers. This afternoon finally the chip time appeared and everything, but it's really weird that my gun time and chip time are exactly the same because I didn't quite start front row. And looking at what I filmed, it looks like I stepped on the first timing mat at the finish. It was 27 seconds, not 29, but I think they took into consideration the second one, and then yes, it would have been 29. Now I'm not contesting the results. Of course, I'm over the moon with a 50 seconds PB. What the heck? On the start line, I told myself, you are not letting that half marathon PB streak go without a fight. You're going to do your very best today. But honestly, it just felt like it was all going to go wrong? Well, first of all, it was really cold, and then the thing with those big events is that you need to arrive ages in advance, and then you're just waiting and waiting, and then there was only one entrance point for the runners, but it was so far away from the actual start line. It was 1.8 kilometers away, so you do all this walking in the cold, and then finally I got to the start line. Still have some waiting to do. At this point I am shivering, and then before the start I had pre-opened slightly my gels because I thought, well, on the course, if my fingers are too frozen, I'm going to struggle to open them. Then we start, and then within the first kilometer I kind of had to touch my pocket to check that, you know, I've got the gels and everything, and then it's sticky, and I'm like, what is going on? Sure enough, one of my gels was leaking in my pocket, and I was like, great. And being that time of the month, I thought maybe at some point I'm not going to feel too great, but thankfully it didn't seem to affect me today. Now the course itself, great support most of the way. There were only a few sections that were very, very quiet, which was great. It is not as flat as Malaga, it's not a pancake, but to be honest I expected worse. There's no hill, there are some gentle inclines, especially in the second half. That's where I really noticed them the most. And it's also when the wind gusts really started picking up. But I'd say until kilometer 15, I was working hard, but I was quite enjoying myself. I was having a good time. And then between kilometer 15 and 20, oh, I was so over this wind. My legs felt heavy. At this point, it was getting really hard. And I just kept telling myself, you are absolutely not slowing down right now. Quite early on, my watch started to clock the kilometers earlier than the actual kilometer signs on the course. So I didn't really want to trust what my watch was saying too much. I didn't want to start believing that I was running better than I actually was. I basically didn't want to end up being disappointed at the end. So I was just trying not to, you know, take that into account too much. I was just grateful that I was still able to push myself, really. And it's only at kilometer 20 I really had a proper look. And I realized that, yes, I was actually on for a PB, like it could totally happen. That final kilometer, I really enjoyed it. I found my smile again. I was enjoying the crowd, the energy. I just felt pure delight that I was keeping the half marathon streak alive. Today's PB was the biggest surprise, and I'm quite proud of this one. I couldn't have asked more of myself today, so I just feel really accomplished. And now I do not want to be training for another half marathon until the end of the summer. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this race vlog. Please subscribe to my channel if you've not already. And I hope to see you all in the next video where I should be somewhere else again. Bye!